Could the Society of St. Pius X be excommunicated again? And if that happens, would the excommunication actually be valid? That is the question an SSPX priest recently raised during a sermon in Paris. Father Denis Puga, speaking at the Church of St. Nicholas du Chardonnay, addressed reports that the Vatican may excommunicate the SSPX if it proceeds with planned episcopal consecrations without papal approval. According to Father Puga, there is a major contradiction at the center of the controversy. The contradiction involves Cardinal Víctor Manuel Fernández. Fernández currently serves as prefect of the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith. According to reports cited by Father Puga, he has already prepared an order of excommunication for the SSPX. But Father Puga pointed out that Fernández once strongly criticized the idea of preventing people from receiving Holy Communion. He referred to a homily given by Fernández in early 2023 at the Cathedral of La Plata. In that homily, Fernández said that for centuries the Church had developed systems of classification. People were labeled. Some were considered worthy of communion. Others were not. Some could be forgiven. Others could not. Fernández described that situation as something terrible and praised Pope Francis for helping the Church move away from those attitudes. Father Puga argued that excommunication does exactly what Fernández criticized. An excommunicated Catholic is excluded from receiving the sacraments, including Holy Communion. According to Puga, this creates an obvious contradiction. He remarked that if the issue were not so serious, it would almost be laughable. The priest then turned to church law. He argued that canon law clearly states that a person acting under a state of necessity does not automatically incur excommunication. For that reason, he questioned whether any future penalty against the SSPX would actually be valid. Father Puga also made an important distinction. He acknowledged that consecrating bishops without papal approval is an act of disobedience. However, he insisted that disobedience is not the same thing as schism. According to him, schism means rejecting the authority of the Pope and the bishops. It means refusing to recognize them as legitimate pastors of the Church. He argued that the SSPX does not do that. As evidence, he pointed out that the SSPX has never attempted to create what he called a parallel church. It has not established its own diocese. It has not created a separate hierarchy with independent jurisdiction. Instead, SSPX bishops administer sacraments while still recognizing the authority of the Pope. Father Puga also cited Cardinal Dario Castrillon-Hoyos. According to him, the former head of Ecclesia Dei stated that the SSPX was not in schism after the controversial 1988 episcopal consecrations. He also referred to Pope Benedict XVI. In 2009, Benedict placed SSPX matters under the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith. Father Puga argued that this was significant. That congregation deals with matters inside the Catholic Church. It does not handle relations with non-Catholic religions or separated communities. For Puga, this showed that Rome itself did not treat the SSPX as a separate church. He concluded with a biblical comparison. He recalled the gospel story of the man born blind who was healed by Jesus. The man's parents were afraid to speak openly because anyone who followed Christ could be expelled from the synagogue. Father Puga noted that being expelled from the synagogue was, in a sense, similar to being excommunicated. His final message was simple. Throughout history, he said, exclusion and punishment have often been used against those involved in religious disputes. And he suggested that Catholics should keep that lesson in mind as the current conflict between the Vatican and the SSPX continues to unfold.